Bienvenidos to the Spanish Conversation Podcast. My name is Alyssa Benelli, and I am so glad you are here. This podcast is for those of you looking for a way to practice speaking in Spanish. Some of you may have found your way here via my other podcast, the Gringa Spanglish podcast, because I am your Spanish tutor or some other way. No matter how you wound up here, I am really excited to show you how this podcast is going to help your Spanish speaking and comprehension skills. At the start, I will do an intro of the topic for the day, which today is just basic small talk. We will discuss some questions that you will be asked and some potential ideas for response. I would recommend taking some notes if you can, or trying to think of a potential response as you hear each prompt. Then you will be asked 5 to 10 Spanish questions. Today there are 8 related to the topic of the day, and they'll be in random order. The questions are in the description, and the transcript with everything else is at rss.com. Check out the link in the description. After each pregunta, or question, you will have a varied amount of dead air time. This is for you to formulate and speak a short response back to me. For longer answers or time to think, you can pause during that time for as long as you like. After that pause, I will offer a suggestion or a few for answers that you could provide. Before we begin, though, here are a couple of words or phrases that might help you formulate both those questions and responses. Vivir is to live. Llamarse is to call oneself. El esposo or la esposa is husband or wife. Conocer is to know a person. Dedicarse is to do for a living. La familia is family. Dónde is where. El nombre is name. Ahora is now. As mentioned, today our topic is small talk, and this is just for beginners, these first 10 episodes. Imagine you run into someone at the grocery store, you meet someone's partner for the first time, or you are socializing at a party. What do you say? Here are the questions I'm going to ask you today that can help, and their translations. Number 1, ¿Cómo te llamas? Or ¿Cuál es tu nombre? What is your name? Assuming the person approaches you as tú, you would hear one of the 2 questions above for introducing yourself. In response to the first variation, you would say me llamo Alyssa, and to the second, mi nombre es Alyssa. If you don't know their name either, you can mirror the question back or simply say ¿y tú? Number 2, ¿Cómo andas? How's it going? You can respond with things like ando bien or mal for good or bad, or el mismo, como siempre for same as always. And you can finish with y tú or tú qué tal to pose the question back to them. The verb we're using here is andar, which is usually for mode of transport, sort of like riding a train or a bike or walking on foot. So this is a bit of a colloquialism. It's not quite a direct translation. Okay, number 3. ¿Qué hay de nuevo? Is what's new. You can respond either with a lot is new, something like mucho, es que tenemos una hija ahora, or talk about your new baby girl. Sí, conseguí un nuevo trabajo is like got a new job. Or more simply for beginners, no mucho, estoy muy bien, y tú, for not much, I'm good, you. The question is ¿qué hay, as in what is there? I means there is or there are. Okay. Número 4, number 4 is ¿cómo está tu familia? Tu mamá, tu esposo, etc. for how is your family, mom, husband, etc. Depending on who the person is, you will respond mi blank, whoever, está bien, or mis blank, están bien if everyone is good. Or you could switch out for mal, enfermo, ocupado, etc. Just remember to change your adjectives for that feminine or plural. ¿Dónde estás viviendo ahora is number 5. It means, where are you living now? As a beginner, you could reply for yourself, estoy viviendo en, or for your family as estamos viviendo en. That's using the progressive tense. For the more advanced listener, perhaps try talking about when you moved, saying something like, me mudé a San Francisco hace 2 años, for I moved to San Fran 2 years ago. Okay, número 6. ¿Cómo conoces a, and then a nombre? How do you know person's name? This is a bit harder to answer, but it is common at a party where you know few people. Try the past tense here, either for we met as conocimos, or we have known each other since, nos hemos conocido desde, as a starter. Remember that colegio is high school, la universidad is college, el trabajo is work, or maybe through other friends, which would be a través de otros amigos. All right, número 7 is a qué se dedica usted, or a qué te dedicas, is what do you do for a living? This doesn't translate at all. It's assuming that your profession isn't too complex that you'd be able to answer. It'd be pretty easy to say a profession that I am as yo soy. You don't need the un or una for whatever the profession is. So like my answer would be yo soy maestra de español, or even just soy maestra de español. If you and your partner have the same profession, you could employ somos for we are instead of soy. For a job change, you could add ahora for now, or soon I will be as pronto seré. All using ser for that profession, even though that wasn't used in the question, which I know is a little confusing. And just note as well that the first example had usted in it, so it was more formal. And the second one was the to form, just to show you that you could use either one. All right, last question. Número 8, ¿de dónde eres? Or ¿de dónde son ustedes? Where are you? Or where are you all from? This one is similar to the above in that you'll use ser to respond. For a tú question, your answer is likely to be in the yo form, yo soy. And for ustedes questions, likely a nosotros somos. That'll actually be pretty much the case across the board. If you're referred to as tú, you'll respond as yo. Referred to as ustedes, you can respond for the group as nosotros. We'll see that a lot throughout the podcast. Unless you're from different places than the other people around you, you would just stick to I as yo. You can use things like la ciudad for city, el pueblo for town, or el país for country, perhaps to give context. Soy de Moldova, un país cerca de Rumania, for example. All right, listo, ready? Let's try out these questions in random order. Make sure you pause during the short break. If you don't have enough time to reply, you can take as long as you need. ¿De dónde son ustedes? Mi respuesta es, means my answer is, somos de Colorado en los Estados Unidos. ¿Y tú? Or if it's a group, you could say, ¿y ustedes? ¿Cuál es tu nombre? Mi respuesta es, I actually have three. The first one is, mi nombre es Alyssa. Second is, soy Alyssa. Or me llamo Alyssa. And I could do, ¿y tú qué tal? Or just ¿y tú? Is fine as well. Okay, ¿qué hay de nuevo? Mi respuesta es, pues mucho. Estoy trabajando mucho y he completado varios proyectos grandes este año. También viajamos mucho. ¿Y tú? ¿Algo nuevo? Note that I'm putting the question back to the person at the end and how I'm saying a lot is new, from proyectos or projects to traveling through the verb viajar. ¿A qué te dedicas? Mi respuesta es, soy maestra de español principalmente, pero también tengo un podcast, cursos online y un libro. ¿Y tú a qué te dedicas? Note my answer is long and would only be with someone I'm comfortable with or who is really curious. Otherwise, I would just stop at maestra de español. ¿Cómo conoces a Raúl? Mi respuesta es, Raúl es un amigo de la universidad. Él salió con mi amiga Sara. Gente salió from salir is went out with or dated. ¿Sí? Ok. ¿Cómo está tu hermana? Mi respuesta es, ella está bien, gracias por preguntar. Ella tiene una bebé de 1 año ahora y vive en Westminster. I am thanking the person for asking and talking about my niece and where my sister lives. ¿Dónde estás viviendo ahora? Mi respuesta es en el mismo lugar como antes, en Arvada, Colorado, en un condominio allí por los últimos 7 años. Estoy 20 minutos de Denver. Note, I'm giving my condo's distance from a major city people might know better. ¿Cómo andas? Mi respuesta es ando súper bien, gracias. Es muy bueno verte y estoy feliz de estar aquí con todos nuestros amigos de nuevo. Did you catch that? I'm saying it's good to see you and to be with our friends again. Well, there you go. Episode 1 in the books. How did that feel? Did you feel a little loco talking to yourself? That's okay. It does get easier. You can repeat these episodes as many times as you need, tweaking answers and questions, moderating your speed, etc. You're on a roll already, though, so I will see you in the next episode to keep things moving. And for more products from Gringa Consulting, like that podcast I mentioned, check out gringaconsulting.com/products. Okay, bye. Ciao.